She scored 9. 3 for 12 shooting. That's that defense.
Paige Bueckers has some footage of her crying about getting the Caitlin Clark treatment.
This is the first time she's gotten a modicum of what Caitlin gets on an every play basis. And she's crumbling like a cookie.
Paige Bueckers has that brilliant 44-point game, which was just a delight to watch. She was cooking.
Ever since you dropped 44, the Seattle Storm doubled and tripled you?
Paige Bueckers, she was struggling in this game, guys. She was struggling.
With the same attitude as they had for Caitlin Clark, like, we are not letting her score. We are not letting her score.
Just moments ago, Paige Bueckers thought she was prepared. But now she's dealing with the same challenge Caitlin Clark went through in her first year. After Paige scored 44 points, defenses started targeting her.
Paige had that brilliant 44-point game against the Los Angeles Sparks, tying the all-time rookie scoring record.
Paige Bueckers has some footage of her crying about getting the Caitlin Clark treatment.
Just like they did with Caitlin in her rookie season. This is the first time Paige is really getting a taste of what Caitlin Clark goes through on almost every play, and she's falling apart under the pressure. And honestly, everyone sees it. Everyone knows Paige hasn't been treated the same way Caitlin has.
This is the first time she's gotten a modicum of what Caitlin gets on an every play basis. And she's crumbling like a cookie. And look, everyone knows it, man. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that Paige has not been treated the same way Caitlin has. Lexi Brown said earlier there was a different energy versus this year's rookie class, basically in last year's rookie class.
In that Valkyries game yesterday, Paige was a non-factor in the first half. No points, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 0 for 4 shooting.
0 buckets. She had 0 points at halftime, bro. Paige Bueckers was a non-factor in the first half of that Valkyries game yesterday. We cannot make this up. 0.5 assists, 1 steal, 0-4 from the field. Bueckers has scored at least 10 points in 30 straight games, the longest after streak in the league. Bro, she scored at least 10 points in 30 straight games.
That's shocking because Paige had scored at least 10 points in 30 games straight, the longest streak in the league. But last game against Golden State, she only had 9 points and shot just 25% from the field.
Get Paige Bueckers' performances, y'all. All right, the last game, Golden State, she had 9 points, fam. 9 points and shot 25% from the field. 25% from the field, fam. That's not Paige Bueckers. She had 9 assists, though, because they were making her pass that ball. I'm telling you, man, it is not easy playing against the defense that was applied to Caitlin Clark, man. It is not easy. I give her props, though. She do have 9 assists.
That's not the Paige Bueckers people are used to seeing. Sure, she had 9 assists, but that's because the defense forced her to give up the ball. She still shot just 3 for 12. That's defense locking her down. I'm not trying to tear Paige down. But the truth is her last 2 games have been rough. The physical play has been obvious.
Paige Bueckers had 11 points. You might think that's a fluke, but then you have to look at the Valkyrie game. She scored 9. 3 for 12 shooting. That's that defense. See, I'm not sitting here trying to tear Paige down or to try to make it seem like CC is better than Paige because of these last 2 games. No, I'm actually here because of the WNBA and its statistics. I do not think it's fair for you to compare Caitlin Clark's rookie year.
Hard fouls, constant attention, and even fans and coaches calling it out. But what if this isn't just about strong defense? It feels more like a test teams are giving her on purpose.
The hard bump that sends her to the floor, the double teams that show up the second she even thinks about crossing half court, the kind of physicality that has fans and coaches getting vocal, and everyone sees the hard fouls and the defensive attention. But what if this isn't just about playing tough defense?
Since that 44-point explosion, WNBA defenses have clearly made it personal when guarding Paige. Just like what Caitlin Clark went through last year, it's not about dislike. It's about her hype and popularity. Teams want to shut her down to prove a point. The Valkyries came in with the attitude.
But since that's happened, it feels as if WNBA defenses have taken guarding her a little bit more personal. You know, last year we saw Caitlin Clark guarded kind of personally not because of necessarily hatred or whatever the case may be, but I think Caitlin, it was hype and popularity. That's where I saw that come from.
We're not letting her score, and that's exactly how teams treated Caitlin in her rookie season, refusing to give her anything easy.
They were the first 2 times I've seen teams really go like with the same attitude as they had for Caitlin Clark, like we are not letting her score. We are not letting her score. The rest he's got to do something. We're not letting her score, which is the way it should be. Which is the way of a player of Paige Bueckers' talent and ability. It should be. And I do think the more Paige gets guarded like this, the better she's going to be. I think long term, getting guarded like you're an all WNBA level talent. And I don't think she's an all WNBA player.
After Paige's 44-point game, the Seattle Storm started double and triple teaming her, and then the Golden State Valkyries used the same plan. It's no longer smooth for her. She's getting that full Caitlin Clark treatment.
Paige, it's a little different now, ain't it? You see that triple team? Ever since you dropped 44, the Seattle Storm doubled and tripled you. Now, the Golden State Valkyries saw it work for the Storm, so what did they do? They did the same thing. It ain't that easy no more, huh? It's a lot easier when you don't get treated the way Caitlin Clark gets treated. And I'm still standing on what I said. To me, Paige Bueckers, best 2-guard in the W. I'm taking Paige over Kelsey, Arike. I'm taking Paige at the 2.
In the Valkyries matchup, Paige was getting blitzed. She had only 4 points late into the game and started forcing drives to the basket, hoping to draw fouls, showing just how much defenses have zeroed in on her.
She's on 4 points with about 4 minutes to go. And she hits a big 3-pointer off a pull-up. Then she just starts going reckless head first at the basket, chucking the ball at the basket, trying to get to the free throw line. She's not trying to score the layup. She actually made a layup where I'm pretty confident she didn't even try to score. She jumped on the ground and fucked the ball near the basket and it went in.
Against the Valkyries, she was flat out struggling. The defense swarmed her on every possession, just like Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese often deal with 2 or 3 defenders jumping her the moment she touched the ball.
Paige Bueckers, she was struggling in this game, guys. She was struggling. It was giving struggle meal. She just could not, it was a lot going on. But at the same time, the Golden State Valkyries defense on not just Paige Bueckers, but more specifically Paige Bueckers, there's a reason. That was the reason why she was struggling. Okay, they were jumping her. Same thing that they do with Angel Reese. Like Angel Reese, as soon as she gets that ball in her hand, she has that possession. It's not abnormal. It's not unusual, rather, to not see like 2 to 3 defenders on her.
Paige hasn't been knocked to the floor once. She hasn't taken an elbow to the head. She hasn't been hit with flying elbows like Caitlin Clark had to deal with over and over last year. The truth is, Paige has only drawn 1 flagrant foul, and that was from a reckless closeout.
On some plays here or there throughout the season, but she is not hounded. She has 1 flagrant foul against her, and it was on a reckless closeout. She hasn't been bopped upside her head 1 time. She's been tackled to the ground 1 time. She hasn't been body checked to the ground 1 time. She hasn't been elbowed in the head. She hasn't been a flying elbow to the head like Caitlin Clark has had so many times last year. Okay? Paige literally has 1 flagrant foul against her, and it was a reckless closeout against the Fever, Sophie Cunningham, and it was questionable.
That's not the same level of punishment Caitlin went through. What really happened is people started making those videos, pointing out how Paige kept getting open looks.
Her coach said, how many times does she have to be on the ground for us to start protecting her and cleaning up the physicality? Oh, no. What that sound like? You sound like, she sound like she getting abused like Caitlin was. No, Paige. Look, I'm telling y'all what happened. What happened was we start making them damn videos exposing Paige being wide open. Everybody letting her shoot. They got a call from who? Kathy? Kathy picked up the phone and she called, hey, look, all teams, we're getting exposed.
Caitlin didn't have that luxury. She had to fight through it all her rookie season. Every single night, she went through the trenches.
She's just now seeing it. Only 2 games she's seen that type of defense. 2 games. Caitlin had to see it her entire rookie year. Her entire rookie year, man. She had to go through the trenches. All right? She had to go through that. Now, I'm still not going to sit here and call her trash or anything like that because I know it's hard for somebody to perform when they're getting triple team, double team.
Now, Paige is finally getting a taste of what Caitlin went through. The difference is Paige is actually getting foul calls and getting to the free throw line whenever she's hit. Caitlin, on the other hand, could get slammed to the ground and still not hear the whistle.
Have been terrible. She's actually somewhat getting played how Cece was getting played last season. The only difference is she's not getting flagged when fouled, and she's able to get to the free throw line at will, whereas Cece can just fall on her head and they still won't put it to. But anyway, versus the Storm, in which they lost by 35 points, Paige Bueckers had 11 points. You might think that's a fluke, but then you have to look at the Valkyrie game. She scored 9. 3 for 12 shooting.
Even her own coach, Chris, has shown frustration, asking how many more times she has to be thrown to the floor before the refs call it. But that complaint isn't new. We heard the same thing last season with Caitlin Clark and with plenty of other coaches defending their stars.
Is getting frustrated asking how many times she has to get thrown to the floor before calls are made. Now, we know that statement is not something new. We heard it with Caitlin Clark, and we heard it with many other coaches speaking on behalf of their players, and it becomes a familiar tune across the league. And you can see it in the game. They're swarming her. That's a lot of defenders in her direction on every play. Now, in fairness, the Wings are still figuring things out and don't have a ton of other players who can consistently make defenses pay for that.
After dropping a rookie record 44 points, Paige and the Wings turned around and got blown out by 35 against Seattle. It was a tough reminder of how quickly defenses adjust.
So after that 44-point game, it feels like things done changed. Feels like things done changed a little bit. And Paige has to deal with a little bit more of this, where they're swarming her. That's a lot of defenders in her direction. Now, Paige doesn't exactly have a wealth of teammates who can make you pay. In fairness to her, the Wings are kind of a ragtag group. They're last in the standings for a reason. That's not Paige Bueckers' fault.
The Valkyries went all out against Paige, guarding her with the same intensity they've used against Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark, determined not to let her get anything easy.
But the Valks did not want to let this happen. The Valks did everything they could. Like, they guarded Paige Bueckers as hard as I've seen them guard any guard this year. And like, the Valks have shut down Kelsey Plum. They've held Kelsey Plum to 4. They've held Caitlin Clark to like 14. Was it like 14? But it was on equally as bad shooting as Paige. Might have been worse shooting than Paige.
The result? Paige struggled, shooting only 3 for 12 and finishing with 9 points. That's exactly what happens when defenses blitz, double, and triple team a player. It's the same pressure Caitlin Clark had to face every single night in her rookie season.
Paige Bueckers struggled again tonight. Paige Bueckers was 3 of 12. 3 of 12. She was awful. 9 points. She was awful tonight. And that does not mean she's not good. She's getting a level of attention from defenses ever since she had that big game. And that she's getting the level, she's still not getting the Caitlin Clark level of attention. But it's starting to amplify. Because prior to that 44-point night, everybody was guarding her like she's just another girl on the floor.
The Valkyries figured out how to slow Paige down, trap her with doubles, and she just kicks the ball to the nearest teammate. Unlike Caitlin, who often turns that pressure into scoring chances, Paige looked uncomfortable and out of rhythm.
Like, it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. And they figured out the sauce to guarding Paige Bueckers. If you double team Paige, she is just going to pass. And it's not like she's going to go and pass to an open teammate. She will pass to whoever the closest teammate is to her when she gets doubled. If you blitz Paige, she will pass the ball to whoever the closest teammate is to her. She's not trying to use the blitz to get people open. She will get assists off that. She's not going to do any of this. She will literally, if you double team or blitz Paige, she will look to her right, whichever hand she's dribbling with. If she's dribbling with her right hand, she'll look to her right and she'll pass the ball. If she's dribbling with her left hand, she'll look to her left and pass the ball.
Her streak of 30 straight games with at least 10 points ended. And just like Caitlin Clark's early struggles, it shows how tough defenses can get once the league decides to target a rising star.
And to put it more into perspective, it says Paige Bueckers has scored at least 10 points in 30 straight games, the longest active streak in the league. So for her to just have 0 points in that first half like that. It took her some time, and she only put up 9 points in today's game. It's like, again, maybe it's like, she's hitting that wall where it's like, I'm not going to the playoffs. I done did all I could do. I'm tired of this coach. I'm boycotting Kurt Miller and Crisco Clandis. I don't give to hell with y'all. I don't care no more.
Lexi Brown mentioned earlier that there's a different energy with this year's rookie class compared to last year's. And really, last year's class was just Caitlin Clark. The difference is clear. People don't have anger or hate toward Paige. She's not as popular, so she hasn't gotten that same backlash.
And look, everyone knows it, man. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that Paige has not been treated the same way Caitlin has. Lexi Brown said earlier there was a different energy versus this year's rookie class, basically in last year's rookie class, which is just basically Caitlin Clark. Okay, there's not animus towards Paige. There's no vitriol because she's not as popular. You know how girls are. This is the true litmus test that Paige isn't popular.
But then the call came. Kathy picked up the phone and told everyone, "Look, teams, we're getting exposed. Give her the Caitlin treatment." I've been saying it. Kathy runs things like a boss.
Kathy picked up the phone and she called, "Hey, look, all teams, we're getting exposed. We're getting exposed. Give her the Caitlin treatment. Give her the Caitlin treatment." I told you, I keep on exhilarating y'all. Kathy is the biggest gangster in the land. And you want to know why? Because Kathy said it best last year. Drama sells. And you need drama. Well, guess what, Paige? You're getting your drama to ride out the season with.
The league has been trying to push the idea that Caitlin Clark is just normal, while Paige is better than her, and Angel Reese is better than her. And next they'll say Juju is better. And when Olivia Miles arrives, they'll claim her rookie season was better too. Even Paige's coach pointed out how many times she's been knocked down without getting calls.
44 points. Paige Bueckers, you did your thing. I can't hate. Look, I see people out there trying to hate on it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. She went off. You got to give credit where credit is due. This girl was flat out cooking. She was stirring the pot. Paige Bueckers was cooking. Paige Bueckers is cooking. This performance will go down as one of the best performances in history.
He asked the same question Caitlin Clark's coaches asked last year. How many times does a player have to hit the floor before refs step in to protect them? By the end of the game, Paige looked more worried about keeping her scoring streak alive than about winning.
We was looking for real fouls last season. Like fouls that was just like, yo, y'all not going to call that? Are y'all crazy? Come on, man. There's a difference here. They want y'all to think that Clark is a regular person and Paige is better than her and Angel Reese was better than her and next is going to be Juju's better than her. When Olivia Miles come in, they're going to try to say she had a better rookie year. Hannah, her dog, they're going to do the same thing with her. All these crooks, they're going to do the same thing with her. I'm telling you, brothers, it's going to keep happening and keep happening and keep happening.
That's the same criticism Angel Reese and even Caitlin Clark once faced when the pressure started to affect how they played.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's physical. The whistle's not going our way, and then I see her just get run over, right? Like, that's an offensive foul. Like, she's boxing out and just getting absolutely run over and thrown to the ground. Like, how many times does she have to be on the ground for us to start protecting her and cleaning up the physicality? So, yeah, you got to step in and support your players and make sure they know that you have their back. And so, again, our team.
Since defenses started locking in on her, Paige has gone just 5 for 19 from the field. That sudden drop in efficiency shows she's now being treated like a marked star, the same way Clark was targeted last season.
She's 5 of 19 in the last game. Since people started actually game planning and guarding her, she's 5 of 19. She's not looking good. It's not looking so hot. Y'all said we was making it up when we said, yo, she not getting doubled or tripled, nothing. She's not getting nothing. But you see now. The Valkyries said, yeah, we're going to double you. Not only are we going to double you, at times we're going to triple team you.
Critics even said Paige cared more about protecting her streak than about the team's win, calling it pulling an Angel Reese. They admitted she has the skill to be the best in the league, but argued she doesn't yet have the mental toughness. something Caitlin Clark proved she had in her rookie year.
And by the way, like if she didn't, I wouldn't be laughing about this that much if she had just had a bad game. I'd be talking about more so than anything about how, look, she's been getting blitzed. Paige isn't ready, isn't capable of doing this right now. If had she been blitzed earlier in the year, she'd be working her way up and she would be ready and getting some scores off it now. But I'm not going to do that because she pulled an Angel Reese and cared more about her streak than she did about winning that game down the stretch. So I'm going to laugh about that in the same way I laughed about Angel Reese. And I stand by this. The second Angel Reese double-double streak stopped last year, Angel Reese got better.
After dropping a rookie record 44 points, Paige and the Wings turned around and got blown out by 35 against Seattle. It was a tough reminder of how quickly defenses adjust, the exact same wall Caitlin Clark hit in her first year.
The Dallas Wings lost to Seattle Storm. They took a beating. After Paige Bueckers put up 44 points, broke a WNBA record as a rookie. Most points scored from a WNBA rookie, right? She surpassed Candace Parker. That was when the Dallas Wings took on the LA Sparks. Fast forward a couple days or a day after that, on Friday night, we see the Dallas Wings get beat like a slave, a Hebrew slave that stole something by the Seattle Storm. The Dallas Wings lost by 35 points.
Paige is 179 points away from breaking Caitlin Clark's rookie scoring record. But honestly, who cares? I got a new nickname for her, Pooh Paige.
Instead of scoring points, man. When Paige is 179 points away from beating CC's rookie scoring. Who cares? I got a new nickname for Paige. P.U. Paige. That's her new nickname, P.U. Paige. Yes.
Paige, you need to pull it together, girl. Guys, drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to hear what y'all think, because being a legend is more than just having talent. It's about toughness, how you carry yourself, and the kind of character you show.
This happened. That happened to you, Paige. Now, I want to see how you're going to juggle this. How is you going to be the mass musician and get out of these situations, Paige? Because everybody wants you to be the face of the league. They want you to be the face because they picked you. Caitlin was never picked. They picked you. Now, just like I said, I'm not going to bash Paige. I'm for Paige balling.
Fans don't want to see star players held back just because the defense gets too physical. You could see Paige only turned aggressive when her scoring streak was on the line. Now, with teams actually building their defenses to stop her, we'll find out what she's really made of. Paige has all the talent in the world.
And there's a line, right? Like there's a line where a level of that physicality is appreciated. And I think the competitiveness is certainly appreciated. But people don't want to see injuries or star players not be able to do their thing either. Now, this is going to be an adjustment for Bueckers.
We saw Paige Bueckers towards the end of that game be more focused on her streak than actually, like this game wasn't necessarily over. It was not over for quite a lot of that game. It was absolutely not over.
Now the team is being built to stop you. Now you got to see what you really can do. Now we'll see what you really can do. It's that simple. It's that simple.
There are plenty of players that have the mentality to be the best guards in the league. Man, I think Layla Khan has that mentality. She's a dog. She's an absolute dog. But like when we're talking about players in the league that have the mentality to be top 3 or 4 players in the league, Paige doesn't right now. Angel Reese has the mentality to be a top 5 player in the league. Like, say what you want about Angel Reese, she's a fucking dog.
But without that dog mentality, she can't be on Clark's level yet. Right now, Paige is walking the same tough road Caitlin Clark faced as a rookie. The question is, can she handle the pressure and rise above it? Only time will tell. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Thanks for watching.
This happened. That happened to you, Paige. Now, I want to see how you're going to juggle this. How is you going to be the mass musician and get out of these situations, Paige?